everybody. I'm standing in the courtyard of Linden-Linthicum United Methodist Church, and the reason I'm standing here today is because I wanted to be standing next to this big planter, which right now has nothing in it except for, well, you can see maybe a big hole, an indentation. There was for a very long time an evergreen, kind of a bush or tree or whatever in this planter, and it was really pretty and it was nicely shaped and green and it looked lovely until it didn't. Not so long ago it started looking kind of peaked, and eventually it was just dead, and we didn't pay so much attention to it until 3 weeks ago when we started having in-person services again, and people were coming by and thought, gosh, that looks terrible. We need to get that taken care of. So some nice folks from the church came and took it out, and they're going to do something else in this planter, so it'll be pretty when we come in. But that happens sometimes, doesn't it? Something that has been beautiful and has been flourishing in one place for a long time, after a while it just doesn't work anymore. Probably is a metaphor for life in COVID era, isn't it? That things that have been flourishing and we thought were going along just fine got interrupted somehow, and then they need to change. And that's kind of how life is these days. So I was reading in Psalm 80, and Psalm 80 says, "Please come back, God of heavenly forces. Look down from heaven and perceive it. Attend to this vine, this root that you have planted with your strong hand." And I love that. Attend to this vine, this root that you have planted with your strong hand. We are the root that God has planted in the earth with God's strong hand. And sometimes we start looking a little peaked and we need to make some serious changes. That happens. Sometimes things are not as good and not as healthy as they used to be, even if we're doing the same thing. But God can plant something new into the planter. God can make it beautiful once again, just as this is about to happen here in our courtyard. So if your life feels kind of unsettled at this point, if it feels like too many things have been interrupted and you can't really see how things are going to be beautiful ever again, they will be. Trust in God to do the good work of planting and tending the vine that you are, God's handiwork. God will make it beautiful once again. Amen.